questions. What's up, guys? Welcome to Monday Live. I am so excited. I'm excited every Monday to talk with other resellers and everyone in the chat. But today's chat, I have 3 TikTokers who are really doing big things over there. So I'm really excited to have them, talk to them. You guys can ask questions as well, but it's really going to be, we'll talk about TikTok in general, but really how to use it for your small business. We are all resellers. You do not have to be a reseller to make this useful for you, an entrepreneur wanting to use TikTok, social media to help your small business. So welcome. I am a reseller. This is every single Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. So if you like content like this and these casual chats, or you would like to come on one of these, send me a DM on Instagram and I'll set up a time. It's open to anyone who wants to come on. So while we are waiting for people to kind of hop on, Tori's been on my channel before, so you guys probably know her if you follow me, but I'm going to have everyone, and Mandy has too, actually. It was like a year ago. We talked about eBay. Sorry, my lighting was really weird. So now I look really pale. So I'm going to have everyone introduce themselves. That goes for everyone in the chat as well. Feel free to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background. Drop your social media handles. Shameless self-promotion for everyone. This is networking for everyone as well. So on my screen, it goes, Mandy is on this side of me. So we'll kind of just go around in the circle and start with Mandy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mandy. Thank you, Sarah, for having me on here. I love talking all things TikTok. I'm obsessed with TikTok, so I'm excited to talk about this topic tonight. I am the owner and creator of BrickRoadCO, which is an online e-commerce platform, multiple platforms, actually. I sell on Poshmark. I have my own website, which I'm now developing. So I started out reselling in 2015, full-time since 2018. I've been using TikTok for my business and for fun since it was Musical.ly, but not really creating content until about fall of 2019.
And I will tell you, me and Mandy, I know Mandy personally. She's in Colorado. We've met. She's way up north, though, so we don't hang out that often. But I've met her. We both are in Colorado. And we were kind of trying to grow Instagram together. And she was like, TikTok is where it's at, Sarah. Like, it's just starting. I was like, I don't have time for anything else. I can't get on it. And Mandy was right. So she kind of got ahead of it. And she has all of the tips because she has really been on it. I don't know when it started, but it feels like from the beginning, right? Like you have really grown with it and learned how it works. So super excited to have Mandy here. Thank you so much for coming on. Tori, I just noted you did she, her. I love it.
Yeah.
She, her. Yeah.
Yes. I always forget because I have my Zoom set up that way. And so I was like, I can change that really fast. But yes. Do you want me to introduce myself?
Yes. Sorry. I was going there and then I saw that and went off trail. Yeah. So please introduce. Tori's one of my all-time favorite people. Her and Bill are just the nicest YouTubers, resellers, supportive. She was one of the first people who looked at my dashboard and was like, sure, I'll review it on my YouTube. And I was like, oh my God, a big YouTuber. Like I totally freaked out and it just has meant the world. And I love Tori. So welcome. And I'm excited to chat with you.
Yes. And same here, Sarah, mutual. I love strong women. So hello, I'm Tori. If you don't know, girly girl style across all the platforms. I'm hearing a clicking. It might be mine. I don't know. But what else? So yes, I'm a small business owner. I am a reseller. I focus primarily on vintage. I'm a vintage seller. And I love social media. I love to just document the mundane events of my life. It's just something, it's easy to do. I started on YouTube a couple years ago and got monetized really quickly. And then that's kind of where the bug just bit me. And so TikTok, I've only been on since last year, which is kind of crazy to me. And I just love TikTok so much because I can be myself and I don't have to be edited. With YouTube, you have to be a little bit more edited. I'm a talker. I ramble a lot. So with TikTok, it has actually made me better at my day job because I have to be more succinct and I can't just ramble on. So and I give a lot of money back to charity. So I always forget to say this. I'm a philanthropist. Sarah mentioned my husband, partner, and best friend, Bill, our main goal in our life is to be able to give back, and that's to the community. And we do that as much as we possibly can. So I always forget to say that. So I wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, and I love that part. Duncan is asking, there is a clicking. So I don't know if you guys know what that is. If it's, you can turn it off. I don't know what it is. Duncan's saying, is Bill on a chat with the flipping gals right now? Are you guys like double teaming it?
I think he's just participating. I don't think he's like being hosted.
Oh, gotcha. He's just in the chat. So Duncan's also like, I can imagine Duncan having like 7 chats open at one time. He's supporting all the resellers. All right, Mallory, what's up? Mallory, I love the hat and I love her style. She reminds me very much of when I was in my 20s and cute and a hairdresser. And now I'm like, but I used to be like when I was in my 20s, I was a hairdresser and I like got dressed and stuff. And now I'm like, meh, I'll wear the same sweats for like 3 days. The only people that see me are my children. And all the tattoos, and I just love your style. And you've been so supportive in my dashboard and helping me beta test and stuff. And I love watching you on TikTok. You're very consistent and you can see, and we'll talk about this. But you can tell, like I can see yourself on TikTok. So I'm like, well, yep, that's LuckyBolo. Like you can definitely tell. So branding is definitely a thing we'll get into. But go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit. And then we'll start chatting.
Thanks. I'm so happy to be here. I am Mallory. I'm the owner of LuckyBolo. I'm a full-time reseller. So I mostly have a high-end and boho resale boutique. And I'm across all platforms, though I'd say I mostly focus on Poshmark, or at least my tips are a little bit more Poshmark focused, but I do sell across all platforms. And yeah, I've been kind of in fashion and e-commerce for the past 5 years. I started off with styling for clothing catalogs and styling on photo shoots, and I'm a certified personal stylist, but that's just a way demanding industry. So was very happy when I did pivot towards reselling, which kind of started with working at a high-end resale consignment shop, and didn't know reselling was a thing for a while until I was there, and we kind of had resellers come in, but like they were kind of looked down upon, which is so weird to me right now. Like they're like, oh, those are pickers, like that's why they're bringing in all different sizes. And I was like, what about this though? And so I've always been kind of an entrepreneur, and finally just started to kind of go all the way with reselling and do it full time, especially once the pandemic hit, which I know for many people has been an amazing option to have, is to do reselling and to work from home during all of this. And yeah, I also have a background in stand-up comedy, which is part of what has led me to TikTok. It kind of scratches that itch of being humorous and sketch comedy and things like that. So
that makes total sense now. I watch your TikToks. So we're going to have questions in the chat too, but I want to talk a little bit because I know like Tori, you're on YouTube. Mandy, I know you tried YouTube for a minute. Instagram, like there's so mor different social media platforms. Obviously today we're talking about TikTok, but why have you, and I know you do other ones as well, but like why have you honed in and why have you picked TikTok and putting your time and efforts into TikTok? I'm going to take it back. Well, I think everyone knows TikTok. If one person, we don't have to have a huge conversation. One person can just quickly say what TikTok is. For people who aren't maybe as familiar with TikTok, just do a quick how it differs from other social media platforms. And then we'll talk about why you've chosen to really spend time on TikTok. That makes sense.
I'd say if you're familiar with Reels, it's a lot like Reels. So for people who are coming from Instagram, if they're familiar with Reels, that's one way to quickly give a comparison, but it's video shorts, 60 seconds or less. You name the topic, it's probably in existence on TikTok.
Yeah. So just short videos about virtually anything. And we'll talk about the algorithm in a minute, but that's one of my favorite parts about it because it's not a bunch of stuff that I don't want to see like some of the other social media platforms, which is why I'm like, on there forever because I'm like, oh, 5 minutes and then, an hour, which is exactly what they want, right? So let's talk about why you've chosen TikTok. I know you're on other social media platforms, but you guys are really pretty consistent on TikTok. Why have you chosen to do social media on TikTok?
So I'll start with that one. So I love music. And one of the things with TikToks or TikTok originally, I was like, oh, cool. I can, get all the modern music and I could do something with a background. So it's kind of like mini movies to me. When I was younger, I always had this like crazy, like, people want to be doctors or whatever. And I was like, I want to do soundtracks for movies. Like in my head, I thought that was the coolest thing. So my friends and I would record, back in the day, VHS, and we would put music behind it. So with TikTok, I feel like for me, that's why I got so into it. It was just the music aspect, and it's so fast.
Yeah, totally. That's interesting about the soundtracks too. And now that you say that, it totally makes sense about you wanting and TikTok being there. I was the person who started a TikTok account like the weekend before they were talking about shutting it down. Cause I was like so resistant. Mandy had been telling me, everyone was like, get on TikTok. And I was like, well, now like I better do it before they shut it down. Mostly because Instagram had came out with Reels and I wanted music. So I was like, well, I'll just start a TikTok for that. I am by no means a TikTok expert, which is why you guys are here telling us all of the things. So Mandy and Mallory, why don't you guys dive in a little bit, and then there's a couple questions in the chat. Dive in a little bit about why you chose TikTok and kind of what you love about it.
Should I go first? So yeah, TikTok, I definitely was somebody who didn't understand it at first, which most people or a lot of millennials and whatever don't. But I got into it once lockdown happened pretty much and got sucked in because it is extremely entertaining. And I was just totally sold. I've like learned the most important things like on TikTok this past year, especially. I've learned like more about financial goals and like just, anything, plans, life hacks, like literally everything. I learned so much on TikTok. And so I was really enamored by how well that comes across because it is short form. So like I said, for me, coming from a background of comedy, being in lockdown, it really scratched that itch of kind of like being entertaining. Also because everything was very isolating, and especially doing reselling, you're kind of isolated anyways. It's not a job everyone understands. So connecting to other resellers, being like, isn't this weird or funny, was just really nice during lockdown to not feel so isolated. But a large part of me wanting to really be consistent with videos was, especially when I started out, I know a lot of us learned so much from YouTube, and I'm so grateful for that. There's just a lot though where you want to know something and there's a lot of searching, and are you going to find the right video, or you have to kind of put a lot of time into watching the whole video, and are they going to get to the question that you have? And I really appreciate TikTok for getting straight to the point, and they do train you to like, you can't waste like the first second, otherwise people are going to scroll past. So I really enjoy that it helps to bring people like bite-sized, edible, and entertaining pieces of knowledge to help grow their business or to just be entertained. And it can be anything and everything in between. So I'm a huge advocate for TikTok being one of the best tools you can use to build your business, build your brand. And I can't shut up about TikTok. Everyone that I know wants me to stop talking about it, and I still can't get everyone on it. They're missing out. You're missing out if you're not on it.
Yes, agreed. And it's very different than other social media, because I feel like a lot of people who are like, I don't want to get on TikTok, are like anti-social media people. Like my husband, like he just won't do. He does YouTube, but like dorky video game, like not like social media type YouTube stuff. Well, I guess it's social media, but you know what I mean? Like he's not like the fluffs. And I was like, TikTok's completely different. He's like, I don't do Instagram. I don't do Facebook. I'm like, it's different. It tailors to you. But then I got myself into trouble because then he's on it and he's like on it. There's a TikTok guy who comes on and kicks you off when you've been on too long. He gets that frequently because he's on it. I was like, okay, you need to like cancel because you were supposed to be doing something for the last hour and I can hear you upstairs laughing, right? But it is if you're kind of hesitant about it, it's definitely different than, definitely social. It's definitely Instagram, Facebook. YouTube is more of a search engine than social media, right? So I don't think it's comparative, but it's definitely different than Facebook and Instagram for sure. Mandy, tell us all your goods, girl.
Okay, so I got on the app initially because I have teenagers and it was Musically, and I have to keep an eye on what they're doing and make sure that the apps are an environment that is good. So that's, I've actually been on there since its inception, which is so funny to me. The reason I felt compelled to use it for my business and just really start creating content was twofold. One, I am a self-professed musical theater nerd through and through. So it like tapped into this, you know, like Mallory said about the comedic sketch piece, like, you know, for me, it was like the musical theater piece. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I can be these different characters and, you know, I can sing and dance and be my goofy self that I hadn't really found an outlet for anywhere else. And I had tried YouTube, and I think I'm still sitting at just over 500 subscribers. It's just a slow climb for me. So then Gary Vee is a big person that for me as a business person, I look to for mentorship. And I've just noted that people who seem to be really successful on social apps, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, whatever, they started the second that app came out and started like gaining steam. So I was like, I'm putting every fear aside. It's been a slow climb on Insta. It's been a slow climb on a slow death on YouTube. I don't even know what to call that.
YouTube's hard. It's hard.
So like it just felt right for me. And then Gary Vee, I just was like, I'm not sleeping on this. I'm listening to what this man is going to say. And of course, he was the one that started talking about Clubhouse, which is a whole other topic. But like, I listened to what he says as far as what is going to be up and coming, because he is the expert on that. So combine all those things together, and I just started playing around. And I just noticed initially when I got on there was like no reseller content, like at all. So I'm like, well, this looks like the place for me. I'm going to go ahead and just get started and see what happens. And yeah, it's just been crazy from there.
And one thing that I love about TikTok, and then we'll get to questions, and I already have like 7 written down that I've been thinking of while you guys have been talking. So this will be a full hour for sure. One thing I love about TikTok too is it's not in a bad way, but it's not as aesthetically pleasing, right? Like you just jump on there and you do, like sometimes like Mallory definitely has like her color theme going and like you can pick it out. But even that, it's not like the faked Instagram posts that you see, right? And even like the cute thumbnails on YouTube and edited videos, which I kind of really like. It's like so raw. And I think from a viewer standpoint, I appreciate it because it seems like I'm closer to the people that I watch, right? Like it's really them. But then also from a creator standpoint, I really appreciate that I don't have to, not that I do a lot, but when I do videos, I'm like, I don't have to edit. It can really take me like 10 minutes to do a video, where YouTube is forever. And Instagram, I'm like, you know, I have to come up with like this cute pose and do my hair and whatever. And my stories, I don't, but like on my wall, like you want it to be kind of aesthetically pleasing. So that's something I appreciate about it. If someone, I'm pretty sure someone asked for your guys' links. I'm almost positive I put them down in the descriptions. So if someone can go check, because if I check, then we'll get feedback. But if someone can check the descriptions of this YouTube live and let me know. If not, I will go grab them and put them in the comments. But I didn't want to take time away from the call. So do you think TikTok has an advantage over Reels? If so, why?
Yes.
Forever.
Yes.
Why? Let's get into it. For people who don't know, so Reels is essentially TikTok's version or Instagram's version of TikToks in a not as great way, right? Like you can't do it long, you can't have the music. You guys can talk to it a little bit more, but why do you think TikTok has it over the Reels?
So for me, I'm just going to say, number one, the UI, the user interface is not as easy to use as TikTok. And you already mentioned there's some of the downfalls. I can't do certain things that I can do in 5 seconds on TikTok. I can't do it on Reels. Mm-hmm. So for the content that I do, which is mostly tutorials or really quick videos, it takes me so much longer. So I just create on TikTok. That becomes my video editing software. And then I can get it over to Reels. So that's my opinion on Reels is good, by the way. It's still growing. You still want to be a part of it, but TikTok is better.
Yes. Yeah. If you're on Instagram, doing Reels is going to get you better views because they're promoting that right now. So absolutely, to Tori's point, but TikTok is better. If you want that type of content, go to TikTok, not to Reels.
Yeah, for me, well, because the entire thing of why TikTok is king is the algorithm, and it's completely different than Instagram. So even though they'll push out some, and some of them can still reach higher views than you usually get for your regular Instagram posts, it's just not the same. And TikTok just has a good way of rewarding like really good videos too. So you can go viral so much quicker. And it's not even about going viral necessarily, but like it just rewards you for people watching it all the way through for the likes and comments more than Reels does. Reels still, to me, it sticks with the followers that you do have rather than the TikTok algorithm like pushing it way further out, because that's what the For You page even is testing it out like to different demographics, people who don't follow you as well as people who follow you. So to me, I hate Reels so much. It's just, to me, Reels are only to repurpose TikToks, and even then Instagram has to make it difficult because you can't have your TikTok watermark on there anymore.
Really? I haven't done a TikTok in a while.
Yeah, they just announced that like if there's a TikTok watermark, they won't push it out, which I get. But to me, the most of the videos and the jokes and the music comes from TikTok. So to me, it's like I'll be watching Reels and these jokes are like months later, like they like trickled down. I'm like, no, we already did that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's like when your mom sends you something like a week later. Did you see this? I'm like, yeah, mom, that was like a meme like a week ago. Like, get it together, right? I think it's interesting that you say that because of the algorithm. And I don't know if you knew this, Tori, but YouTube has changed their algorithm, and I feel like they're testing out new things. I feel like YouTube, Instagram, and even Facebook, like you said, it pushes it to your followers. So people who have a lot of followers just keep getting better. And then it's slow growth for people who don't have followers because you aren't getting pushed out to anyone. And so then you're not getting the watch time that promotes you, right? Where TikTok like kind of just tests you with everyone. And if it's good content, it's good content. It doesn't matter how many followers that you have. And this didn't click to me until you were just saying that. But YouTube this year, I read has changed some of their algorithm to push it out to wider people, and my views are getting better because I'm not a huge channel. So I think it's getting pushed out differently than it used to. And so I'm wondering if they're kind of picking up on how TikTok is doing things and trying to test that out. Sorry, that just like clicked as you were saying that. So I wanted to throw that out there. Mandy, did you answer? No.
I think
anything to add?
The most part, I think they covered it, but I would say that the thing for me that has the advantage is it's like you have to work harder to get the same exposure on Reels. So you still have to be thinking about your hashtag usage. And so to actually get that broad exposure, you're working really, really hard. You can have the exact same video and you're going to have to work harder to get that same level of exposure. Whereas like a celebrity could regularly see a TikTok if they like one of your TikToks and they've responded to it positively. You can actually have like celebrities, like verified celebrities seeing your content, and it just pushes it out so much further. It's definitely, more in tune with behavioral analysis and AI, which is like a whole nother topic, but it really does show how, like you said, it does not matter a follower count. If you have good content and people's eyes are lighting up and they're excited to see that content and they're hitting that button and they're watching it more than once, then the opportunity for exposure is just, it's like 20-fold what you can get with the exact same content over on Instagram. You just work so much harder for that same exposure.
Yeah. And so I'm going to go off of that. And just to keep you guys watching this video to the very end, we are going to end with how this has actually helped their small business. I haven't spoken with Mallory. I'm not sure if it's linked complete. I would venture to say you're getting sales from it or some kind of kickback from it. But I know Mandy and Tori have some very great success stories off of some of the videos that they've done. And so at the end, we'll kind of end on that note on how their TikToks have actually not monetized from TikTok, but they are making money off of, their small business being seen on TikTok. They're actually directly correlating sales to that, which I think is really exciting. You don't have to be a reseller. You guys were doing it for your handmade business, but this can be for anyone who wants any company, any entrepreneur, you can really grow. So we're going to get into some tips and tricks, and then we'll finish kind of on that note. So make sure to stay tuned for that. I'm super excited because I know them personally. I'm so excited to see the success that they've had with it. So, as you said, the exposure and why we like TikTok and how it's better than the Reels. I want to get into some tips and tricks and really like the algorithm. We know TikTok's better, yay, hooray! Like you guys are making sales, but like how can we help other people do this? So let's get into some tips and trick. The algorithm opportunity for exposure. So what do you guys recommend? You're new to TikTok or you're just starting out. How do you go about triggering the algorithm, or what do you really do to get started and get that exposure?
Post consistently, just post, throw stuff out there. You can't really ask TikTok to know where to put you if you don't give it stuff to put you there. So if you want to be niched into a particular area and you're really focused on a specific aspect of, like for me, it was more about making and creating, then consistently put that out there. So don't just put one video out there and let it sit and expect something to happen. Keep pushing content out and try to incorporate it with things that you do every single day, because like everyone has mentioned, it's very raw and short. So if you just have your phone and you're taking literally 5 to 10 second small shots of anything you do for your business, you can make that into a video.
And I'm not a huge TikToker by any means, but that's essentially any of the videos that I've done. I'm like, cool, what am I doing? Taking photos, boom, 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 video, here's some, in 5 minutes. Of course, the first couple of times it took me, an hour and a half because I was like, what does this button do? What is this? But once you get it, the interface, like Tori said, the interface is so good. So you said consistent, and that's definitely across all social media. Like that's the number one thing you're going to hear is be consistent. For TikTok, what does that mean? Like Instagram, it's like daily posts and in the stories all the time. YouTube, it's a couple times a week probably, but what is consistent? Like, do you want to be posting multiple times a day, a couple times a week? Like, what does consistent look like? Can you post too much?
So I suggest you define your consistency. So you can hear tips from TikTok pros that are like, you need to post 3 to 5 TikToks a day. That sounds so overwhelming to anybody starting out. Like, are you kidding me? I do 2 a day now. But was that consistency for me when I started? No. Consistency was first post a video. Then it was just like post a few videos that actually are like that video. And then it was once a week. Then I decided consistency for me needed to be once a day. Eventually, as you grow your audience, you'll determine what they want from you, and you can start to pull back if you do too much content and people are kind of getting tired of, I'll throw 3 or 4 out there to see if something works, and I can see people are tired of seeing my face, so I might back off again. But I found the magic number for me and my audience is 2 a day, 1 late afternoon, 1 in the late evening, and that's just what I do 7 days a week.
Does it have, you keep talking, I have all these questions. Analytics, do they have, like you're saying, you notice it's what works. Do they have analytics to tell you like time of days that people are viewing? Like how deep does the analytics get? I haven't looked at them.
They do. So they actually have analytics for your account and per video. So it is pretty insightful once you start digging. You can see how long people are actually sticking around for your videos. So that's a key component into understanding pushing your videos out further is average watch time. So let's say you're posting 60-second videos and it's not getting pushed out to the For You page. And then you go into your analytics and you notice the average watch time is 13 seconds. So then you can go back to that video. You can look at why did I lose them at 13 seconds? Was it the length of the video overall, or did I lose them at that 13-second mark because I said or did something that was just like, nope, we're done here. So you can really delve into deep dive into every single video, but then you can also get a lot of the standard data like you're used to seeing on Instagram, where it's the time of day that's best for you. So most of my users are on there in the evenings. And so I just know that's a better time for me. Sunday nights are just like fire for me for whatever reason. Sunday evening videos do really, really well. So you can not only tap into the actual each video's analytics, but you can tap into overall for your account, male versus female followers. I am now a lot more in Australia for viewers, which has been great. I had that one video that linked to it, and now I'm seeing that across the board on all of my videos. So,
right, because they look at one video and then TikTok's like, well, let me throw out a couple more and see how those stick. Exactly. Well, you're speaking my language when TikTok has better analytics, like anything that has analytics. And I think that's why that you can grow if you're, looking at it from a business perspective. If you look at the analytics, can gain more knowledge in when to post, in when to, who to post to, where to post. If you're in Australia now, you can probably find some Australia content that would be relevant, or make, team up with someone in Australia or something. Like having those analytics. I am 100% on team analytics. If you guys don't watch my channel, know that. And so that's super exciting. So I don't even remember what the first question was. Tori, do you remember what the question was when we were going around? I kept having more questions.
It was, if you were starting out, what would you recommend, like posting and like
Oh yes, with the algorithm, how do you kind of get the algorithm on your side and get exposure? Thank you for keeping me on track, Mandy. Moderating my YouTube.
So I will say, and first, so hello everybody. I had to turn off because my thing keeps clicking. So I turned off my other screen. But I wanted to say hi to everyone because I see there's a lot of our family, our friendly reseller family over there in the chat. So I just wanted to say hi. But so consistency, I'm going to agree with Mandy. It's just like with anything, even if you're a reseller, you have to be consistent. If you are on social media, you have to be consistent. And I think that Sarah, you said it, Mallory, you probably said it, Mandy, you said it. It's just film what you're doing. The videos that I've done, I don't sit around and think, oh, I need to create a social media plan for TikTok and do all this stuff. I mean, I started to a little bit now that I've had some traction, but I was just posting whatever I was doing. And advice for new TikTokers, watch TikTok. Watch it. Like, see what you get excited about. And brevity is king. I never shut up. Like, everyone knows this about me. And I'm telling you, on TikTok, as soon as I got succinct and as soon as I stopped going on for 60 seconds, that's when the magic happened.
Oh, so because you can go up to 60 seconds. Do you think even going less than that is better too?
Oh, yeah. I just did a 60-second video that I haven't done. And it was because I did a 15-second video that went viral.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
And everyone said, I need it longer. So I went the 60-second, but I normally don't. I'm normally like 15 seconds. That's
hard. 15 minutes is hard.
It is.
I'm like, Victoria, I'm like trying to get my YouTube videos down to like 10 minutes. You're like to 15 seconds.
But because that's going to promote though. So what it does is it promotes people to watch it again because it's so fast. And if they're interested, they're going to continue to watch it. And the more that they watch it, they might have questions if they miss something. And now they're going to say, hey, can you explain more about that? Or can I get more engagement? Now you have engagement. They're going to share it with someone else. Hey, I saw this. So seriously, brevity is
that.
fire.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I did like a YouTube tutorial and I did it super quick and it had really good traction. And everyone was like, can you do it slower? Can you, like, I had so many comments like, what happened here and what did there? So you don't want them to learn anything. You just want them to ask for more. Got it. And then you can say, hey, go to my YouTube channel for the full 10-minute video.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. Mallory, what kind of tips do you have for getting traction, getting the algorithm on your side and all that?
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, most people I talk to, they're still really resistant to it. So I agree, watch it because then you get it. It's not because in most people's heads, they're like, it's a 16-year-old dancing. It's like, no, I mostly am watching like, professionals and it's not like that. So first of all, you just have to watch it to get over yourself with that. But the best part about it and why it's actually very easy to start is because of the trends, because there's constantly like every week a few trends, which goes from like more difficult transitions that you can do. And you don't really want to start there because that's harder than it looks. But there's something as simple as just using the trending sound that week, or just using these jokes that are across TikTok and you'll see it. And then saying, oh, here's how I could put a spin on it for my niche or my business. So it's way easier than you think just once you catch on to some trends and just starting there because it's kind of written for you. And the biggest mistake I would say I see people do is I have friends who are like, oh, I got on TikTok now, but I'm not getting views. I'm like, why are you not using the music part? Like you could like have a video that no one actually cares much about, but it'll get more views if you're using the right sounds that are trending that week. Because the way that it works is if people have watched or liked a video with a certain sound, they'll kind of be shown similar videos with that sound too, even if it's not necessarily a niche that they're into. And I feel like that is the easiest part, but it can also be forgotten, is using the music to your advantage. But yeah, just the trends kind of give you a roadmap, and I agree with doing day-to-day stuff, things that I would think like, oh, this is obvious, like everyone already knows how to do it. Those are videos that'll get a lot of views because people are always hungry to learn more, and most people, I'd say, are on there to be entertained and scroll for hours, sure, but also just to learn more and more.
I have learned so much. I have learned so many things. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And like different recipe, like, and it depends on where your stuff goes. Somehow I got in the teacher TikTok, which I think it's funny. And I went to school to be a teacher, so I must like all of them, but like just teachers being really funny. But then you can get into like crafting like there's just all these different niches that it can put you in. So I have 2 follow-up questions from what you guys said. And I plugged my phone in, and I'm hoping I can bring it up because I want to actually, you guys are talking about things, and for people who aren't on TikTok, I want to show them like how, like, what is trending and how do you actually find that. Someone said for my page, for you page. Like, what does that mean? So we're going to get into that in a minute. No, we're going to get into it now because now I don't remember what I was going to say. So, I was going to say something else and I don't remember, but I plugged my phone in, and let me show you the first video that pops up. You guys will laugh. I'm going to see if this works. I've never shared my phone on here. Oh, it's only on Zoom. I can do it. Can you get TikTok on the computer? It's only an app.
You can, there's a website.
Was there a website?
Is there?
Yeah.
Let me try this one more. I thought I could share I think it's only on Zoom. I can share my, damn, that sucks. Okay. Yeah, on Zoom, I can share my phone, but not on StreamYard. So let me pull this up really quick because I do want to show you like for my page and like how to find trending and stuff too. The first video that popped up was you, Tori. That's why I was laughing. Whatever. And you must have just done it because you have the same outfit on.
Yeah, I just restocked. It was my restock video because I sold out. So it was just my, hey, it's back in stock little video with trending music. So.
Okay, well, we're not gonna be able to do this because I don't know my password. So sorry, but we can talk about it. And hopefully you guys, all of their information should link down below, and they will definitely help you if you have questions. But let's talk about, so someone mentioned a For You page. If someone wants to clarify what that means, how it's helpful, like, is that somewhere that you go and find it? Like, what is that? Because I hear people say it, and there's an abbreviation as well that people will like hashtag, right? Like, let's talk. Oh, I'm making this up.
No, you're not making it up, but it's like we don't do it anymore.
Oh, okay. I was like, I swear I'm not the expert. That's why you guys are here.
So the For You page, basically, it's almost like when you open the app, it's divided into 2. So who you're following and the For You page. So why it's such a beautiful, entertaining app is you'll open it up, and first is the For You page. Sometimes that is somebody that you're following, and a video that did well will just pop up. But for the most part, it's like videos that have like stood the test of time and made the rounds and like have a lot of likes and comments. So many people like them that those are the ones that'll kind of be at the top for the For You page. It works in that way. And then also, like I said, when you make a video, it's kind of tested on the For You page. So if I'm right, the kind of top ones you see are the ones that have done very, very well. And then if you keep scrolling down the For You page, it's ones that are being tested. But yeah, it's divided to For You, and then you can go to who you're following and see your feed kind of like you would on any other platform.
Oh, so that's like your introduction to people that maybe you're not following, but that they think you would probably like.
Yes. And sometimes it's just it could be random, just hilarious. I mostly follow reselling and small business, so I might mostly get that, but it'll also just be like a ridiculous, funny thing that just millions of people liked that'll pop up.
Oh, so not necessarily for you, like something that's really big on TikTok. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I scroll through. I have no idea. Now that probably followers, because I don't know. I'll have to look tonight when I usually do it before bed to like wind down. Otherwise, if I get on other social media, I work, right? Because then like Instagram or like YouTube, I'm like, oh yeah, I have all these ideas, reselling ideas, and now I need to go down and work. TikTok is like my relaxing time. But someone mentioned, I think you guys all mentioned the music a little bit as well. How do you use that? Let's get a little bit more in depth with that. How do you use that to your advantage? And how do you like figure out, I know there's like trending music and stuff, but how do you navigate and figure all of that out instead of like this high level use the music? Like let's dig deep and figure out how to help people use the music.
I'm deferring to Mandy because I literally just the suggested music. So when you make a video, when you add sound, it actually gives you some suggested sounds. And I almost always choose that. It's like things that are popular, the things that are songs that they think would work well. But I think Mandy, I think that you actually talked about this on Facebook in the Facebook group about choosing music. So I'm going to defer to you on that one.
Okay. I'm trying to pull up my phone. I don't know how much of like showing my phone will work, but just to give people who are like a little bit more visual, when you go onto TikTok, you're going to have, see, I don't know if it'll work or not. At the bottom, you have a little magnifying glass. So if you're on Instagram and you have like the explore page, and so it's sometimes people you follow and sometimes people you don't, that's very similar to how it works over on TikTok. So you have two different tabs. There's the For You page and the Following page. So a lot of times when I'm scrolling the For You page and I start to see a sound that is coming up often, I will hit this button that's up at the top, which you'll find in all sorts of different areas. It's a favorite button. It looks like a little bookmark. You can bookmark a sound. So often when I'm scrolling and I'm like, just like you mentioned, being inspired on Instagram, like I have all these ideas. I was laughing because that's what happens to me on TikTok. So like I find a sound and I'll save it because I notice that a lot of people are using it. Or there'll be a video that comes up where there's a TikTok growth expert, because that's part of what I have followed and hit the like on a lot. So I get a lot of that content in my For You page, and they'll say trending sound and they will tell you. So if anybody's interested, DM me on Instagram and I will give you like my top 10, like the best influencers that teach you TikTok tips over there that are like verified accounts, because they'll often put out a video that'll say, you guys, there's this trending sound. You need to use this like today. And sometimes that will actually help your video get exposure. When you create a video, you can also then pick a sound after the fact. So let's say you don't have a sound in mind and you're just like, well, I don't really know what I'm going to do with this yet. And so when we're talking about pick a popular sound, you can then select a sound after you've made your video. So sometimes I will do recommended sounds because TikTok will like notice there's food in it, and that TikTok is this good. They will give you cooking aesthetic videos. They'll notice my dog is in it. It has nothing to do with my dog, but for whatever reason, it picked up on that. So then it's like fluffy, cute puppy song, or like just weird songs that it recommends. If those are relevant to me, I select those because TikTok has said, hey, we think that this is good for you. So if I want to please TikTok, I'm going to go with something that they recommended to me. Sometimes those are viral sounds and trending sounds as well. You can dig deeper into sounds, which is really hard to do without having a screen to show people, but you can select by category, and you can select something called TikTok viral sounds, which is where I like to go very often as well, because those are popular sounds that, like Mallory mentioned, if a user has liked a few videos with that same sound, TikTok may push my video out, even though it's unrelated to what they've been watching, because they liked a few of those sounds. So those are different ways to go about finding sounds. But also, if you wanted to do a video that was more instructional and just sounded like what we're doing right now and didn't have any music, you can actually select one of those sounds and then turn the volume all the way down. So
I just wrote that question down. Thank you for reading my mind.
So they can city record down there with the popular sound that everyone's doing, but you don't hear it because it's turned, or sometimes I'll turn it down to 1. So you can kind of hear that there's music going on, but you can't really tell what it is. So you can also elect to take a popular sound and turn that volume all the way down, and then turn your speaking volume all the way up. And voila, you're using a popular sound, but it's just really you talking about a process that you do throughout your day or something like that.
But do you, because I had wondered that, I had heard that and I'd heard it was like controversial. And when I say this, I'm not like big at all. So obviously you know more than I do. But you can have it turned all the way off, or do you have to have it like at least at 1? Or it still works if you turn it all the way off?
It still works, and you'll still see that sound selected even if you go all the way down to 0. So the only time I'll do like 1, 2, or 3 is if I just like there's weird noises in my video that I'm kind of trying to mask or just make it sound like there's a little bit of something going on aesthetically in the background, but you can't really tell what the sound is. But you can turn all the way down to 0, and you'll still get credit, and you'll still get the little spinny sound down at the bottom of your video.
Okay, we do have a question, and I do want to remind you guys, we are going to get into, at the end, we're getting towards the end. So if you do have questions, make sure to ask them in the comments. We're going to get to the very end and talk a little bit about how TikTok has actually gotten these people sales in their small business. I'm super excited for the success that they have had. So make sure to stay tuned for that. We do have a question. Lauren is asking, is there any how-tos or getting started tutorial you recommend? I'm terrible at making videos. Before you guys get in, because I'm sure you have a ton of tips, it's really simple. It took me like the first couple of times I was like, what is this? But it's pretty, like Tori said, the user interface is very good. It's very intuitive. And it really does help you make a decent video. And then you get better. Like my videos are nowhere near theirs. But it's very simplistic to use. I'm sure watching a tutorial a couple times will help you. But if that's what scares you from TikTok, I would kind of just jump in and try it out, because it is one of the easier interfaces out of all social media, I feel.
Yes. And I want to add to that. I just want to reiterate what Mandy said. Follow people that are going to give you tutorials on TikTok, because there are things that I learned that I thought I knew I was doing right. Like here's a tip. This is just one of those crazy tips that I had no idea, that if you're doing a sound, people are trying to match their voice to the sound. There's so many other tips and tricks. You do not have to match your voice to the sound. You can say it out. I'm not going to go into it because I know we don't have time, but yes, follow people that are going to give you tips, because they can give you a tip in 15 seconds and then they'll show up in your feed.
So how do you, because this is kind of the question that this person has, how can I find more educational TikToks? Is there like a search, or like you look at, like Instagram, you look at hashtags and you would follow hashtags. How would you go about finding things that you actually wanted to follow, if that makes sense?
You could use the hashtags. I actually just put in the comments 2 of my favorite accounts ever. I'm going to plug those 2 women because they have been instrumental in coaching me. They're also on Clubhouse. So if you are ever over there and want tips, or in general, it's a great place to learn. So there's tons of rooms over there. One thing I can say is you'll get conflicting advice at times. So just take that in mind and try to tease out which people seem to be giving the most relevant advice. But the 2 that I mentioned down there, Rachel Peterson and Sue Zimmerman, have been doing this. I think Sue's been doing this like social media and like media engagement for like 20 years. And Rachel Peterson just got asked to do a TED Talk. And she went from being on food stamps and welfare to owning a 7-figure business. And they both are social media growth coaches. So it's their job to actually teach people how to make TikToks. And they give tons of free advice all the time on their TikToks. So you could go follow those 2 ladies and then look at what hashtags they're using. And then that would tell you maybe some of the other hashtags you could follow to learn more about how to make them, because I don't know exactly what those hashtags are, but if you look at their hashtags, what they're using, that should kind of lead you in that direction. And then you'll start seeing those things come up more often on your For You page. For me, it's just like built-in education for me every day.
And then if you're completely new to TikTok, if something comes up and you want to see more of it, like liking it and commenting on it is telling the algorithm like, hey, I want to do more of this, right? So if those do come up on your page, make sure to like them, comment, and then they'll show you more. I do know that much. That's all I know. I don't know, Mallory, if you had anything to ask or if we want to move on to the next question.
Yeah. So definitely when you click on a sound, is where I get a lot of ideas and understanding too. I also follow people who tell you what certain trends are. And I would say too, it is, you don't have to do, like we've all seen the crazy outfit transitions. Those are harder than they're worth most of the time. But I would say it is worth it to follow the people who give those tips, and even to YouTube some tips for quick transitions to make your videos more watchable. Things like, figuring out how to do a snap so something's there and then it's not. Or just kind of understanding that you keep people interested by these like mini transitions is very important to know, to keep people interested, because like Tori said, keeping it brief is king, but even if it needs to be a little bit longer, you kind of keep them interested. Like a small tip is I try to start my videos like with a bit of movement, like kind of starting in and coming in like this, because that immediately makes people stop scrolling, because that's the beauty and the worst part of TikTok is there's so much to scroll through. You really do want to grab people right away. And if you're keeping them for longer, you want to keep them engaged. But it's not that hard. I just recommend looking up like the tiny transitions for things like that.
Yeah, those are great tips. And I think, I mean, for YouTube and Instagram Reels, but for YouTube, they tell you like transition. Obviously, it's longer periods, right? But trying to keep people. And now I'm like, well, obviously, I need to go on TikTok to learn all these things because that's why I don't watch a lot of YouTube because they're long. But I'm like, there's got to be like YouTube TikTokers that I can watch in like 1 minute, get a tip instead of watching a whole, like you were saying earlier, Valerie, I don't want to watch a 10-minute video. I want to know how to do YouTube or how to resell in 1 minute because that's how easy it is. Do you guys recommend doing one of the dance trend videos just to get likes and attract new followers? Or do you primarily stick to just reseller content only because I'm looking for customers? And I think you guys had mentioned like niching down. Like, do you niche down? Do you not? Do you follow the trends? Like, what are your guys' recommendations on that?
I feel like I'm going first every time. But I'm like, I'll go. I could talk TikTok all day, every day.
That's why I brought you here, girl.
I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I will do the trends. One reason is because I have teenage daughters and I like to embarrass them. So they don't really give me like I don't think my dance videos have ever really gotten me like a lot of followers or like a lot of likes even. Like they're actually some of my least viewed videos, like the ones of me dancing in Old Town with my daughters. But what I like to do is capitalize on that sound and that movement and just like maybe just pop up on someone else's For You page that I might not have been and just like push myself out of the box a little bit more. My daughter was a competitive dancer and I can't dance at all. So I like to just try something new. I always tell people though, like, just think about like what you want to use your TikTok for. So do you want to educate people? Do you want to attract customers and convert sales? It really depends on what you want, but that doesn't mean that you have to niche yourself down because I am the queen of no niche, even though I have used it for astronomical amounts of sales conversions for my business. You will find plant content, parenting, cooking. You will find everything that I do, thrift with me videos, because I refuse to niche down. So you don't have to. There was a video that said something about people who niche down typically will have more of an instant pot success versus people who do not niche down will have more of a slow cooker success. So I am fine with slow cooking because it's still moving faster than any form of social media. Mm-hmm. So then you can also think about that too. Like, do I really want to hunker down to a niche and just build that niche? Or am I just on here more to just show other sides of myself? So you just have to look at what you want to do with the account and then just kind of start going with that overall goal and the content will come to you.
Yeah. And I think too, we were talking a little bit before we went live about it kind of being like spaghetti to see if it's done, like just throw things at the wall. And to Manny's point, the analytics are great. So just try things, see what you enjoy. You know, if you get too much in your head about I have to only do this type of content, you may not do it. And I do think one of the things that is so good about TikTok is that it is much more transparent, much more like in people's lives. And so if you want to niche down, I think it's probably fine. But also like, I like watching Mandy's, YouTube videos, but I also like watching her, play with her, I don't know if play is the right word, but, mess with her teenagers and kind of see the Mandy behind the scenes. But then there's also resellers that I follow, like Mallory, for most of what I watch is mainly reseller content, but great tips, right? And so like, I like watching her. So I think you can make it what works for you, right? So that you're going to do it. That's my 2 cents. I'm not a TikTok pro. I'm just talking about social media in general, but that's my 2 cents. If you guys want to add to that.
I will say I don't do the trends. So I am completely opposite of Mandy. I don't do the dances. I don't do the trends. I may use a sound if I get inspired, but it's kind of like, I really am just, this is who I am and this is TikTok. But I also, to the point, if you are, because I see she is saying she's looking for customers, you want to keep that in mind if you're trying to get different markets or different people. I had no success converting to sales until very recently. And so it's kind of like, maybe I would have had more if I was out there. But so I don't feel like you have to, but do what you enjoy. I mean, that's the bottom line, I think.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Mallory?
I agree. Doing what you enjoy. I never do a dance. I think I did one once and it ended up being like so much work. It was like a cool transition and it was like, it didn't get enough views. So it's like, don't waste too much. Like if you want to do it, just do it, because part of why I love TikTok is it's very creative for me. It's like one of the highlights of the day to have that creative energy. but it is very vast. It's not just about the dancing. So if you do enjoy dancing, the TikTok dance moves are like very easy. A very easy business tip to do to get followers is you could just do like quick little dances, like while you like just text 3 tips. Like a lot of people
Those are hard
do
too,
that.
though. I tried one of those and I was like, nope. Mm-mm.
Wait, what do you mean? It's
Where
too
you
hard?
like point, and then I was like, well, now I have to like, yeah, I couldn't. I'm not that coordinated. I did one with Breezy Von Breezy. Like we did a collab, and I was like, I will do it. And if I point, and then you have to like put it all together because I can't like, I don't know where the words go and how to point. I was like, I'll send you a couple of videos of me pointing, and you figure it out.
But that is a neat, like, you know, if you don't want to dance, it is easy to just like point here and here, and then you could move the text, you know, once you figure that out, how to move the text. But you don't have to do the dancing. I don't do dancing. I do like the trends because it's usually they're funny, so that's usually why I like them. But yeah, I agree that you should do what you like to do. But the trends are very helpful with giving you ideas, and that's part of why I love TikTok so much is the authentic growth, because I've put like my heart and soul into Instagram for years. It like hardly budges, and TikTok, just by being creative with it and being loose with it, you don't have to do all of the top trends and top dances, but by letting it kind of open that creativity and just like showing what you do love about your business and showing yourself is the big thing, as people are getting to know you and building that audience and really seeing that that is what it's about at the end, is kind of catching these people so that they can have a more authentic relationship with you and what your business is doing.
Agreed. I'm going to put these up on the screen, and when this is over, the video will process in the recording, and I will put their links in the description, so you guys will have direct links to find them as well. But that'll take time for it all to process. So those are the names if you're watching live with me. I like that photo, Mandy. I didn't think it was you at first. It's not your Instagram photo, so it didn't make the connection. Let me see if we have any questions, and then we will add on how this is converted to sales or how you think it's been helping your business. Questions: how do I make my bio link show up on TikTok so people can click it? Does it matter how many followers I have because my link is not clickable? What am I doing wrong? I know the answer to this one. Mandy helped me, but you can explain it better. So go ahead, Mandy. Or if anyone else knows it, sorry.
I was going to let someone else take the wheel on this one.
Oh. You do need to have a certain number. I can't remember, but I know I think mine couldn't be clicked on until 1,000, but it might have changed. But if you go into your settings, you can at least try and see. But I think there is a minimum, but I think it's just 1,000, so it's not too hard to get there.
Yeah, I think it's 1,000. As soon as I hit 1,000, it immediately showed up, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, I know it's a pain that it doesn't just click, but at least your Instagram is also there, like to quickly go there. So just making sure the link is clear on your Instagram.
So you can have your Instagram connected no matter how many followers you have. And then once you hit 1,000, you'll get the link. But you can also do it if you have a business, right? If you do a business account, can you have a link no matter how many? Or am I making that up?
There's not. Yeah, no, it's still 1,000.
I think
whether it's personal or business.
I can't remember.
Let me see, because I had a link for a minute. I don't think I have 1,000.
It used to be when I first was like a business account, I had that link. But then when I was like, I didn't have access to music as a business account, so why would I use it? So I went back, and then when I got to 1,000, I had it.
Yeah, so that's a caveat, because I have 850 followers because I haven't posted in like 3 weeks. But I have a link, but it's because I'm business, so then I don't have music. So then, yes, to Tori's point, it's not really helpful. So we are going to end on this, on how this has helped your business. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for you guys. I know how hard you work at your businesses, at your, being an entrepreneur and everything that you guys do on the back end, and how much work it is to be in social media. Social media is something that you don't get paid for. And even when you do start getting paid for it, you don't get paid for it. Tori, you're monetized on YouTube and you don't make a lot of money. You don't make enough. So you put a lot of time and effort into this. And I'm so excited to see your guys' success in doing this. And I hope that it inspires other people as well to go out there and do it if they want to, and see that you can actually convert it into helping your business. So on that note, I'm going to let you guys share your successes and just ways that you have noticed that it has helped your small business. So,
should I go first?
sure.
Okay. Well, I would say for me, like my goal wasn't initially to have sales conversions per se from my TikToks directly to either Etsy or my own website or whatnot. Like that wasn't really my goal with how all of this happened. But I started out by doing a how-to video about a custom pair of shoes that a local friend of mine had ordered for her boyfriend for Christmas. And that was really all it was. It's actually my daughter's dance coach. She DM'd me and she's like, hey, I have this idea. My boyfriend hunts and he likes these shoes. And I just want to take this stuff and put it like, can you just here? And so, of course, being that I take my phone around and I document what I'm doing throughout the day, I made a process video and said, like, this is what I was making. And it exploded, like completely exploded to the point where suddenly what I thought was just going to be like a how-to video became a product for initially my Etsy store. Now it's on my website. But the sale conversions and the visits to my Etsy store, because you have analytics on Etsy, and I started by directing the traffic over there, I could see that I think it was like 6 times the amount of sales conversions, and my website visits were like in the 10Ks, like over. It was just like absolutely insane. So I had this data to actually prove like this video directed these people. I also, because I was so overwhelmed with how it initially took off, I wasn't prepared to like launch a product. So I was up until like, it was New Year's Eve. So I was up till 3 a.m. on New Year's Eve. An account on TikTok got wind of the video and featured it on Instagram, which then sent like a whole second wave of people from Instagram. So I think it took me 3 weeks to actually get through all of my DMs, create a wait list, and like try to like conceptualize what the heck just happened and like how to do all of this. So I got some business advice, and people are like, just don't even focus on TikTok. So I'm like, what do I do with TikTok? Do I do more of these shoes? Do I do this product? How do I make this grow?
Yeah.
It's expected to, ideally, if we're estimating correctly, I might make 6 figures this year, which is all because of TikTok. Like my reselling is a chunk of that, but this is TikTok.
So are you doing, I mean, it's these cool shoes that to get into, you can watch on Mandy's, but they're called Hey Dude shoes, and you like customize with different fabrics and stuff. They're really cool. But so that is the majority of like what that 6 feet, like that's pushing you into this. You're still doing those. It wasn't just like, oh, I did a couple from then. Like you're still continuing to do those.
Correct. I actually have about 50 more people on my first wait list from January 1st that I do about 50 people a day. I've now worked on automation. So as I've scaled up my business, I have more of an automated system to do this with my second drop, but I actually have a second drop / wait list that I'm doing February 28th. And people are still DMing me every single day. Found you on TikTok. I saw you on TikTok. Are you still doing those Hey Dude shoes? I mean, it is still daily for me. So when I do package stack posts now, I'd say it's like 50% reselling. And if you see a shoebox, it's a Hey Dude custom shoe. So you can look at my Insta as I go through this journey and really see that several shoes a day, depending on how many we can pump out. It's continuing. So this started December 31st. We are now, I didn't think, honestly, when I said I'll do a second wait list end of February, that I would have this continued interest. But the beauty of TikTok is it will continue to push your video out for up to 90 days. If it explodes, you will continue to get exposure for 90 days on that video. So when you're talking about holidays for your business, start ahead of the holidays. When you see retailers putting things out, start talking about those trends as a business on your TikTok, because you've got 90 days where if that video explodes, you have a very good opportunity to maximize sales conversions for the next 90 days. And I could go
Yeah, I mean, you're additional because I remember the one video that exploded, but you've had other videos since then that have also done well with the Hey Dude. So this could continue to move on. Like, it's not just like those 90 days are done for you and that's the last video. You've continued to do these hey dude videos. And I see that they're also doing well. So this could be, that's your new business. You may just be making bathing suits.
Someone's like, you need to do one of those like customs, like Hey Dude X Brick Road Co. And I was like, I don't feel like I'm that big, but I love that someone believes in me that much that I can do something like that. But it's transitioned into a different level of my business. And now it's really just about like how to scale that up and balance everything. And then like not just do Hey Dude content, because what I think a lot of people do when they go viral is they're like, oh, I went viral on this topic, so now I just have to talk about that all the time. But that's not the case. Like I went viral on my plant video and I went on a breakfast video. So like, you don't have to just say, well, because I went viral with this one video, this is the content I have to stick with to get those views and followers. That's absolutely not the case. So I just incorporate it in my daily life. So if I'm doing a lot of shoes one weekend, we talk about shoes on TikTok.
That's what happens. All right, Tori, how has this converted your sales or helped your entrepreneur life?
Wow. Like I'm still in shock, honestly. So last week I did a video like I always do. It was a DIY video. I was making a mask because those of you that know me, I'm a maker. I love to sew, and I still have people reach out to me about making masks. So I just did a 15-second DIY on how to make a 3D mask. It got to like over 200K within the first few hours. Like I was going to bed and I'm like, what is happening right now? I was not prepared because I didn't even have a listing on Etsy. So like Mandy, I didn't know it was going to get popular. I didn't know people were going to want to buy my masks. So I had so many DMs. I had so many things. So first thing in the morning, and by the way, this was like on a Thursday. I still had to do my day job on Friday. So I had to get up early the next day and like create a listing, do all of my photos, get everything ready to go. It was insane. I sold out. So I sold out, which was so crazy. Within like the first 2 days I sold out. I just restocked today. So that's good because I had a wait list, but it was insane. I was not prepared. I did not know it was going to be popular, but this is what I did to continue to convert to sales as well. Then someone asked me to do a longer video. So I did a 60-second video. Then people still had questions. So I went live, and going live also got me new followers, and people were reaching out to me about questions on, how do I make them? But the same people that were asking me how to make them were still buying them. So it wasn't like taking away from my business by giving away what I was doing. It let people connect to me as a human and also see the product in action and see it made. So it's been insane. I hope it continues. This just happened last week, and I'm still like, I cut my finger today. I was so excited. Like, about my whole station. It's been a little insane.
I saw it. I mean, and I know you, and I know that you made masks. But I saw it on TikTok, and I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. Let me go to her Etsy. And I was like, oh, it's sold out. And then I was so excited for you that it was sold out. And I know how to sew. I can make a mask, but I was just so excited for you that I wanted to I don't have a use for Hey Dude shoes, Mandy. So sorry, but I'm very excited for you. And then we'll end it with Mallory. How has this helped, or how do you see this helping your small business? Or, getting the creativity out? Why?
Yeah. So like I have mentioned before, just how quick the organic growth can go. Like Tori was saying, it's insane how quickly you can get followers and views from some things. So that's more eyes on what you're doing and what you're bringing. So it definitely has brought an insane amount of traffic to my Poshmark closet specifically. I can, like Mandy was saying, I can definitely see in all of my analytics, my Poshmark closet will skyrocket after I make a video of something. I don't do too much of hauls for TikTok videos. I know some people do, but I'm more so focused on building community there, sharing practical business tips, and also working with affiliate links and working with other businesses. A lot of other businesses are looking to collaborate with content creators. So one, for example, is I paired up with No Issue. They make sustainable mailers. They're we're trying to build our TikTok, and kind of building those business relationships has been really awesome. And then like Mandy was saying, also, it's crazy how long the videos can last, which is, again, why reels are not the same thing. But one example was I had made a video just sharing about my Rolo printer, and it exploded. And it's like, to this day, I'm like, how am I still getting likes on this video? Like, it's still somehow getting to everyone's For You page. It's like, it's nuts. And so affiliate links to me is like also a very helpful part. That's to me a trade-off. Not only if you're kind of directing people towards your actual product, but you can also use it towards kind of a trade-off for your time that you're putting in, is also like directing people to Amazon for tools that they can use, and getting a bit of a kickback for that kind of helps even out that time that I'm putting into content creation. But for me, the largest thing is definitely building a brand and a community, getting into reselling. I quickly just caught on to some of the largest resellers you see that are the most successful. Part of that is because they've also built a following on social media, is that they keep people coming to their site knowing what their closet is exactly about. And you can definitely be successful without also building a social media community. But to me, I was like, oh, that's definitely an aspect of it, is building a community that understands your brand. To me, branding is just outrageously important. And I got a lot more recognition with TikTok, people saying, oh, I found you from TikTok. I love your TikToks. Mm-hmm. It's helped me grow my Instagram by using TikToks for Reels. And to me, that's just what makes people remember my brand and what I bring to the table.
Yeah. And I think I just love this all. I'm so excited for all of you. I think, Mallory, you definitely have a brand. I see your videos and I see the little teal thing pop up, and I'm like, oh, there's Mallory, there's Polo. Or the hat. I love the hat.
Yeah,
I love the hat on. And I think you mentioned too, like your Rolo thing. I'm not a big TikToker. We all know that. But one of the few videos that I've had like 2 that have gone viral, and I post like every 3 weeks or something. But one was like recommending a product, and I'm an Amazon affiliate, but I wasn't doing it from the sense of I'm trying to get people to go to my affiliate. I was just doing something. I was listing something. I was like, oh, I really like this table. Let me take a picture or do a little video. And I think someone told me that that TikTok really likes when you're promoting products. And so that's why I think that was my first one. And I was like, oh, cool. So if you are looking to make additional money, not just to your products, becoming an affiliate, eventually, getting paid to be an affiliate when you have so many followers, and all of that stuff too. And seems to be much easier on TikTok to be growing organically too, to where you're getting that. So we have gone over, and I knew that we probably would, because you guys are just a wealth of knowledge. These women are absolutely amazing, and I know that they will answer your questions if you DM them on Instagram or on TikTok. If you have questions in the future, you can always reach out to me and I will direct you to them, because I don't know TikTok. But you can reach out to me about any other questions that you have that I can answer or direct you in the right direction. So this is every single Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. Next week, I actually have people coming on talking about bookkeeping and taxes, because it is that time of year. So sometimes it's, just people casual talk, but I've asked a couple people to come on. We'll talk about bookkeeping. One is an accountant, so there will be an actual accountant. I will talk about what I do. I'm not a certified public accountant by any means, so take it with a grain of salt. But we'll be talking reseller, bookkeeping, taxing, doing taxes and stuff, as it is that time of year. So do make sure. I haven't put it up yet. I'm going to try and do it tomorrow. I'll try and put the live up tomorrow so you can remind. But I do have a live chat every single Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. Sometimes they are dedicated to specific topics like today, and oftentimes it's just casual chat with other resellers as like a weekly staff meeting. So I welcome you to come join me live on the video or in the comments, the live comments, or in the recorded comments as well, building this community and all supporting and learning from each other. So thank you guys so much. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like my content, and then as well as Mandy, Tori, and Mallory's links, I think, are down below. And if they're not, I'm going to go add them right now. So have a good night.